Do you, by now, I hope, have a full-blown diagnosed case of malaria? Way back in chat number 2, we made this distinction between listening and hearing, and it never hurts to revisit this contrast. Listening is paying attention to the sounds being heard by our physical apparatus. It's a state of mindfulness that probably has 1,000 degrees of acuity that can be dialed up and down by human beings at will, from barely noticing what's happening to noticing every detail. And assuming that our hearing is not physically impaired, we are all capable of applying that full range of mindfulness to music. If we make that conscious decision to be mindful and present with music, the next logical question is, to what do we give our attention? We've been kind of skirting around this issue throughout these chats. The what we can pay attention to are various aspects of the elements of music, which are rhythm, melody, harmony, texture, dynamics, timbre, and form. Today, we want to contrast on two aspects of form, the word we use to describe the thoughtful organization of the music. One aspect of the use of form is the use of repetition in music. Come up with a good idea? Say it again. Repetition is a useful device for composers. It adds emphasis. Just as in a good speech, we might say, be kind to one another. Be kind to one another. But if we repeat something too many times, it may begin to lose its effectiveness. Be kind to one another. 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 Be kind to one... Well, musically, it can get that way too. Which is perhaps why composers came up with what we call sequence. Sequence is the word we use to describe a musical idea that repeats, but at a different pitch level. First, let me do a repetition. Now here's the sequence. All right, now you tell me, is this next thing a sequence or a repetition? And the answer, of course, is repetition. Now, the next thing that I play is going to be a sequence, but I'm going to add a further twist. Sequences may either ascend or descend. So tell me which one this does. Yeah, it was a descending sequence. All right, let's up the ante. I'll use a different sequence this time. Count the first occurrence as 1 and tell me how many descending steps there are in this sequence. Yes, there are 4. Listen again. 1, 2, 4. Okay? Now, from a musical expressive viewpoint, sequence does an incredible thing. It creates the illusion of travel from the first occurrence to some other destination. It feels so good, so satisfying on some internal level to travel somewhere and arrive at a place. One of the sequences that I've been playing for you, I've chosen from a keyboard concerto by Franz Joseph Haydn. Here's the melodic fragment again. In the concerto, Haydn supports this idea with chords that create a version of the melody with chords texture. Remember that from one of our earlier chats? Okay? However, in a twist that we have not actually explored before in these chats, Haydn chose to play the chords broken up. So instead of doing this, he goes... All right? And when we put it together with the other part of the sequence, it almost sounds like the separate melodies texture. But listen now for Haydn's 4-step descending sequence. He moves from up here and he wants to arrive down here. That's where he wants to arrive. So let's listen to our 4 steps and then the arrival. And then the arrival. So notice and enjoy sequences as you listen to music this week, and I'll see you next time.